The fourth wave of the coronavirus in Israel seems to have nearly passed, with the government rolling back restrictions Sunday. Despite this, a 16-year-old boy died tragically Saturday from post-coronavirus syndrome, the first fatality from such a condition in Israel since the pandemic began. Let's take a look at the report.
16-year-old Aiden Jamal from Jaljulia died on Saturday from post-coronavirus syndrome, the Schneider Children's Medical Center announced. The teen, who was not vaccinated, suffered from pediatric inflammatory multisystem syndrome, known as PIMS for short. It's a rare condition that may develop in some children after exposure to the coronavirus. As such, he was transferred to the Children's Hospital nearly 2 weeks ago, and as his condition deteriorated, was connected to a heart-lung ECMO machine. Since the pandemic began, there have been over 100 cases of the syndrome discovered in Israel, though Jamal's death marks the first such fatality. Yet, despite the tragic loss, Prime Minister Naftali Bennett announced that as of Sunday, a pilot program to put an end to mass quarantines at schools in green communities would take effect. The program, called the Green Classroom, entails that pupils in a class in which a verified case is found will undergo PCR tests to be carried out at IDF Homefront Command testing sites, or HMOs. The pupils will remain in quarantine until negative test results are received, and then afterwards will return to regular studies in class, but will continue taking rapid tests with antigen kits for 7 days. On the 7th day, an additional PCR test will be carried out, and when negative test results are received, the entire class will return to routine. Currently, though, the plan only applies to elementary school children, and should 4 children from the same class test positive, the entire class will have to enter quarantine regardless. Additionally, the exemption from quarantine only applies to school hours. After school, children will still have to remain at home and in quarantine. The plan is set to gradually be applied in 127 green communities. And also on Sunday, some 350,000 students finally getting back to classes on campus for the first day of the new semester at Israeli universities. And according to the Council for Higher Education, this marks a 4% increase compared to the last academic year. And so, with only 1,023 new coronavirus cases diagnosed on Saturday and the reproduction rate, or R, down to 0.71, life seems to be returning back to normal in Israel, with students back in school and the government easing additional restrictions, hoping that there won't be a 5th wave on the horizon.